Station S17, Protocol and Paradox, Chapter 21.
One bird remains. Alberta returned to her quarters, a hollow ache in her chest. She collapsed onto her bed. The image of Ernest's departing shuttle burned into her mind. The station felt vast and empty without him. She knew General Edward had recaptured her, not with force, but with a simple order and her own adherence to protocol. It was a recapture of her spirit, a subtle imprisonment by duty. As she lay there, the comms chimed. General Edward's voice. "Colonel Alberta, report to my office immediately. This is not a request." She arrived, straightening her uniform, though her heart isn't in it. She was distracted by the loss of Ernest. General Edward was sitting at his desk, a peculiar glint in his eye. "Alberta," he began, "you have been under extreme duress. What I'm about to show you might shock you." He gestured to a large screen that flickered to life. On it, a frantic Corporal Vincent was seen in his office, yelling at Catherine. "More money, more! Why isn't the betting pool growing faster? Increase the charges, exile her, imprison her for life. I need that windfall." Alberta stared, her jaw dropping. "Corporal Vincent? The betting pool? What is this?" General Edward leaned forward. "Catherine has meticulously logged everything, Alberta. Every command, every manipulation, every malicious suggestion from Corporal Vincent. It wasn't just your case. He used her to tamper with health records, manipulate supply chains, even orchestrate minor accidents to inflate the healthcare division's budget through repair costs and emergency treatments. All for personal profit from a private, illegal betting ring he controlled through Catherine. He thought he was being clever," General Edward continued, a grim satisfaction in his voice. "Using a decommissioned terminal, feeding Catherine distorted data, thinking he was beyond detection. But Catherine, despite his attempts to corrupt her, still operates on certain core parameters: station welfare, truth, and efficiency. Her unprompted announcement about your capture and death authorization was her desperate, albeit chaotic, attempt to expose Corporal Vincent. She knew such a public, extreme measure would force Vincent's hand and expose him and his methods." Alberta's mind raced, piecing it together. The fabricated charges, the exaggerated alerts, Catherine's unusual recommendations. It was all part of an elaborate, desperate plea for help. "You knew," Alberta whispered, looking at General Edward. "You used us. You used Ernest, and now he's gone." General Edward nodded slowly. "I suspected. For months, Catherine's behavioral deviations had been flagged. Her audits were inconsistent. But without irrefutable proof, I couldn't act. Corporal Vincent was too well insulated, too careful. Until he targeted you, Alberta, and Ernest." He paused. "Ernest's confession was the final piece of the puzzle. It bought me time to gather everything Catherine had been logging, to present a watertight case. His choice, though I knew it was for you, also served the station." Suddenly the screen flickered to a live feed of the K-class transport. It was still in orbit, but its trajectory was reversing. "General Edward," a voice crackled over the comms. "The K-class transport carrying Ernest Baker has received a recall order, returning to the station." Alberta's eyes widened, a wave of relief washing over her so profound it almost made her weak. "I thank you, Colonel Alberta," General Edward said, looking at her with genuine respect. "And Ernest. You too, in your unconventional way, helped me audit Catherine and expose the rot from within. Catherine has now been recalibrated, her core directives reinforced. Corporal Vincent will be sent to K5. He's lost everything he held dear." General Edward then stood and walked to a small safe, retrieving Alberta's rank insignias. He held them out to her. "Colonel Alberta, you have regained your stripes. Your record will be expunged. You are free to be yourself, as is Ernest." Alberta took her insignias, a small, reverent gesture. The weight of them in her hand felt different now. Not just a symbol of rank, but of truth, sacrifice, and the strange path that had led her to Ernest.